No, we're not going back to. I
No,
thought
this
we
is
already did
episode
this.
3.
Oh, okay.
The Return of the Great Departed Soul.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it.
I didn't hear of it.
Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park.
Also, it's so excessive to build a tower and then take it down.
50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But
Oh, that's a
as
fish.
regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Oh, wow.
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high
Oh.
into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Ooh. I'm hooked. Like the other starting ones have.
Oh,
Oh.
more. The other starting ones what?
The other starting little cutscenes have been interesting, but like this one got me. Like I'm like, oh, intrigue. Like I'm interested.
And we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Ah, say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology.
I don't believe it.
A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Teleporting.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed
Oh.
to another location.
Man, I remember the first time I was literally disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
It's a rite of passage. Like I don't even know what we're talking about, but I can only expect bad things to happen from this.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of
Reassembled.
exactly as it was before.
So vivacious. I am Waluigi's grandfather.
I am Wyosuke.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
These gentlemen will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you.
I already know how this trick is gonna work. Whoa! This guy has energy, chutzpah. Oh,
Shady said Graguigi.
Graguigi. Somebody paid this voice actor his dues. He was acting. Wow.
Acting.
Yeah. He was Sir Patrick Stewart acting. Bruno, are you listening?
Oh, sorry, what was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. I didn't like that.
I didn't like it, but it's not the reason why. I'm upset right now.
What are we talking about again?
Today's paper, full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You see that tower? You can go to it. You're feeling not your usual self today. You're very down. You didn't like my
My Snickers omelet.
my Snickers omelet and my Legend of Zelda comedy. Very anachronistic humor, I know. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh, sad boy show. Did you say something, Iris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. When did you arrive, Mr. Hoodoo?
I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together.
What? Why didn't you mention it before?
I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast?
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I've been in the same room as a person and now realize that they're in the same Sometimes it happens. It happens. You're telling me it hasn't happened to you? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence.
Thanks.
Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations.
What?
Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly, it can be deduced, therefore, that...
Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact.
Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut, I suppose.
Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently. It's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you're rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? So we're back in the right time now,
Yeah, we're in the
right?
present
Like,
now.
Well, the present of the game.
Yeah.
Did you say something, Iris?
We're back after he leaked government secrets of Japanese Morse code to the entire British court.
Listen, it's their fault. They could have just been like, let's have the rest of this case behind closed doors.
Back to moping. Dragon says he always looks forward to the Holmes impressions. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? Seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know, and the great exhibition is opened. You think you'd be excited? Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all.
So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on.
Step by step, the little
I didn't want to do
bluebird
that.
builds her nest.
We at least need to look at what's on the board for today. Yes, this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle. Oh, this is the same.
This is the same.
It's the same. Why is it the same? It's supposed to be different.
Carbuncle's not even forgotten it.
Hey, cool name. No, nobody's died yet. We literally just started this case, like, within the past few minutes.
I love that you can consistently just, like, say, somebody died yet? It's like, it's an Ace Attorney game. Somebody's going to die at some point.
It must not be that. Maybe it's the, tea thing that I usually examined. Look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day.
Oh, well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time. It's the same twice.
When you
Seems
call it
like we've already said this
concoction,
before.
it sounds like some science print. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
this
that's
is all
because
the
different
same.
plants can have very different properties.
This is all the same. Okay, for some reason I guess it didn't change the chalkboard today.
It's been the same for 6 months.
No,
more,
because
like 6.5 months.
No, because the last case in the other game, it was a different thing. So she changed it back.
She's like, you know what? I want to keep looking at blue carbuncles. That's so funny.
Half a year ago now, I took in the defense of a young. But at
They could have
first,
literally avoided that by just changing it.
what at first seemed like a simple case of murder, turned out to be one part of a much far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake. Thank you, cool name. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Nahodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord.
He wasn't wearing that outfit!
It's retcon, now he was. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. The funniest thing is, you can't even wear that outfit in it, because the outfits only apply to the second game.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, they don't have to predict what his outfit was when you did that. It's literally
Yeah, they could have
static.
literally... This entire beginning of this case has just been, like, one poor, like, technical decision after another. Like, consistently. You could have just made another thing on the blackboard, and we would have not questioned it. But now it's like, you literally changed it back. And it's just... It's all over the place.
I mean, there's literally an achievement for looking at the board every time, so, like, it's conscious, it seems, that they kept it. So. Okay, Iris?
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes' old cases. Brewing Iris's special blend of teas, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruto.
Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart? Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. My favorite fellow.
I finished it this past week in Cool Name, but yeah, this is blind for Inheritance still.
Yeah, all the games are blind.
He's not mine either. But he's the man I have to talk to. Wait, he's not your what? He's the only one who could grant... he's the only one that could grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. Came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here. The whole of London was swept up by this great exhibition, hasn't it?
The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London on one of those lovely balloons. Girl, just you, not me.
Look down on? Do you mean those things fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
Well, heat rises. That's literally the simplest thing. Heat rises. So heat rises.
I don't
That's
understand
true.
that sentence.
I do not comprehend. That's a joke for my fellow Digital Devil Saga heads over there. That's true. There are a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, these things will be common knowledge. See, she gets it. She gets it.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong in the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was an explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of the scam experiments really are.
Cool Name said, people look down on me all the time. Seems people can fly.
People are gonna look on you twice as much.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl.
People are gonna look at you twice as much. Says the innocent 10-year-old girl.
Exactly.
Oh, that's perfect.
I was talking about you.
Well, see here. Every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That's my proper atmosphere.
Oh, another piece of evidence in the court record.
Another piece of evidence.
Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Yeah, Cool Name. Sholmes does have more childlike innocence than Iris. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go to see it properly before too long. Iris didn't even say anything.
Oh, there's a lost cat.
So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Reno?
The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes is talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Can't you read the newspaper?
Yeah.
Let's read the title.
Can you tell me about this?
Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes.
You could say that, I suppose. I was speaking.
Nothing more to add. That's not like you. What sort of case is...
Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruto. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be. You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated the case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah. Oh, that was you,
Ah! Is it really a case that's bothering you? Hoo-ha! Please, Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation without invitation. What did I say about solving cases without my consent, Iris? That I mustn't do it. And what are you doing? Solving your cases without your consent. That was so funny. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you make your deductions.
You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. Ah.
That was a deep sigh.
Ah.
That was a deeper sigh.
I was gonna say, that's the deepest sigh I could do.
It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible.
You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Only
Yes.
3 well.
Prosecutor Barack Van Zeeks. Baroque Van Zeeks.
You're Barack Obama.
They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock, and we have to explain this literally every case, even though we've explained it
Every
like
case.
twice probably this game alone.
Literally every case.
Even if the defendant is not found guilty. Or is found not guilty. Only the Reaper has someone in his sights. One way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short.
London's finest rogues only find ways around the law. Always find ways around the law. They stop at nothing to secure acquittal at trial.
Yeah, cool name. He was shot in the last game. I mean, it's been 6 months though, so he's healed.
Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics cannot save from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work.
Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among the fraternities seems to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels.
So, do you mean Lord Van Zeeks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time.
He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems his assailants were armed with guns this time.
Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zeeks hurt?
My dear fellow, how on earth?
He's cut out.
Well, oh, my dear fellow, how the hell should I know? Did you catch all that?
Yeah, but I love how it went from on Earth to in hell.
Oh, it's. I mean, I realized I could say hell and I ad-lib.
Well, in the article here it says, as to what Lord Von Zeeks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
That rhymed. I see. I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then.
No, I can't wait until tomorrow.
I just changed my phone's cover. I have these replaceable stickers I can put on it. And I've been slowly shifting them around. In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody.
But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps?
Ooh. That was Beskar Haru Okomura from Okomura Foods. Princess of Fantasy McDonald's. Or Burger King, I don't know. Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Shums.
Ha! You really are a shameless liar, my dear fellow.
What?
You seek to put me off guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you'll be wasting your time.
A thought hadn't crossed my mind. Now I'm wondering where you're going.
Well then, see you later, indeed.
Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door.
Whoa! What the hell is that?
Her forensic outfit looks like he has.
She's never worn that. She's been out in public and never worn that. gosh, it's so ugly.
What do you mean?
And
Look
I
at all the
hate that
hearts.
she's the only one that doesn't have an alternative DLC costume. Like, she'd already be in it. Like, this is low tier trash.
Listen, they worked hard at modeling this.
They did, and I appreciate every single person that went into doing it. I really do. But oh my gosh, is it ugly? Like, what are those buns? Sure, her hair isn't even that big. Like, they're literally
Okay.
just empty. Like, she didn't have her. Like, if she had her hair tucked into them, it would make sense. I'm not letting this go. I'm sorry. Like, I have to acknowledge.
Okay,
that this
okay,
is
it's been
bad
acknowledged.
design. Thank you.
All right then, Rita, let's get going.
Oh, Iris? What are you wearing?
I've got shades to go to the Great Exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're going to take me there then.
Alright,
I'm mostly
fine.
hyperbolizing. It's kind of cute.
Just lower that weapon, will you?
It's kind of a cute outfit. I'm not call a spade a spade.
Of course. After the Supreme Court, then we'll go to the Great Exhibition.
I'll get it for you for Christmas.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to have ridiculous space buns and drill tails. Ugh. Ugh. It's iconic.
Dragon said they're just poofy for the sake of being poofy. And Cool Name said
They are.
her head kind of looks like a Pokemon now.
Her head does look like a Pokemon now.
And Cool Name also said that he dated Haru in his first playthrough in Persona 5 by mistake, since he did not know you could date. The second
By
playthrough he saved
mistake.
for itself for Akechi.
Yeah.
And he said,
Akechi
to be
is-
fair, a lady has asked me out before, and I said yes, since I did not know I was being asked out. That's what Cool Name said.
It's relatable content.
Okay,
No,
where are we going?
Let's go back up to my legal consultancy. I do harem route because I try to get the golding ending, perfect 100% ending, which is terrible. But Kawakami is true waifu for life for a person, not for the character. For the character, I would say. Go ahead.
The office spade. Now that Mrs. Zada's gone, the shovelers aren't represented to correct me. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. That's not a spade, Mr. Naruto, it's a shovel.
Ah, so you're a spader, aren't you, Bruno? What, do you want to battle them out?
Alright, I'm not gonna argue with the native English speaker with some kind of gun.
So you're a spader.
Have you heard the tale of Darth Spader the Wise?
Oh, there's a couple other interesting things there. Ah yes, the
Daruma.
Daruma doll I brought with me from Japan. I always intended to colour in the other eye once I'd become a fully fledged lawyer. But it's still winking at me, like it's trying to say, I can wait, take as long as you need. Or maybe not, I'll just have to keep on doing the best I can, I suppose.
I could color it in for Bruno. Just that one eye, is it?
No, it needs to be done with a bit of ceremony, Iris, not just a toy for colouring in, you know. That's not
my
right.
my Daruma doll is very winky as well.
Mrs. Ada's tea set that she left here with me. I still think green tea is just too bitter, though. Thank goodness for sugar and milk. Mr. Shulm certainly wasn't expecting the acrid taste that one time. Never heard of anyone let out a scream like that before, or seen anyone fall down the stairs quite like that either. It always brings a
feel like-
smile to my lips when I'm feeling a little down.
I feel like he actively just pratfalled dramatically from right where the T is. Like he just so extravagant about how he fell.
But he didn't realize he was at the top of the stairs. Like it was intentional until it wasn't.
Oh, well. Do you know what that reminds? The day I gave you some black coffee when you weren't expecting it. You fell all the way down the stairs as well, Bruno.
Yes, do you think we'd try to forget that, please, Iris? That doesn't bring a smile to my lips at all.
It brings a smile to mine.
That's not interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I never
now
did
you
see
can
what
go.
Miss Susado's room looks like. I could go in now, of course, but I don't dare. They say a young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets.
Oh my
Although
god.
from the laughter I used to hear when you would visit, I imagine it's mainly sweet.
Oh, we used to have such fun in Susie's room. She told me all sorts of interesting things about your country, you know.
Let's check on the... Look at the prawns and the anemones gently swaying around in the tank. Regular cleaning, some food, and fresh seawater is all they need. And some conversation, of course. Seemed like a lot of effort at first, but it was worth it. I'm starting to feel I'm able to tell what they're thinking. Funny to think that so many people in London had aquariums like this once, when they were in vogue. Never expect to find sea anemones in the middle of the capital. I think I'll have to name them soon.
Oh no, Bruno's disappeared.
What?
I expect he'd been eaten by Hurley.
I think I'd prefer it if you used your imagination more when naming the sea life. Let me go back. These buttons.
Oh, one of the anemones. Hurley's one of the anemones, and Runo's a prawn.
Probably.
I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruto's Anything consultancy opening for business again.
Ugh. Do we
not-
need an Apollo Justice reference now?
You really got the reference. Right, anything agency.
I played like the little tiny bit into it. Remember? I mean,
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure you remember that.
Oh yeah. I remember
cool.
enough to dislike it.
Cool Name asked if we think it's a spade or a shovel.
It's
a spade.
shovel.
A spade is a short handle. A short handle. You use it for like gardening.
I thought it was the bottom. Oh my god! I can't believe we're doing this.
Shovels are for digging.
just-
Spades are for scooping up loose
For
material.
moving dirt. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I thought that spades had the flat bottom.
Yeah, they're
and
usually
shovels had.
they
the
usually have a
pointed
flatter. Nah, I've seen spades with both, or I've seen flat and pointed spades.
bottom. Oh man!
Done a lot of studying in the past
What-
6 months, reading law books and judicial precedents. What?
What do y'all think in the chat? Do you guys think it's a spade or a shovel? Sound up.
Cool Name says this is a spade. Dragon says you gotta call a spade a spade.
You gotta call a spade a spade. We all in agreement that it's a spade.
I need to see again with the text box away, but I kind of feel the handle that's big enough that I'd call that a shovel. But I need to see.
You're so contrarian. You're doing it on purpose.
Sure, I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again. Yeah, I'd call that a shovel.
Nothing's changed here at all, has it? It's as though time stood still in here when you went to Japan.
I wanted to keep it ready for Miss Susato in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I've just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see. Right. There was me thinking it was because of the way you are, Bruno. You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris, this isn't the time or the place to bring up my tidiness. Or lack of it. Cool Name said that she had to get along with Susie. They both had
Yeah.
the wrong opinion.
Oh no. Lord Strongheart, whose office is in a giant clock tower.
Filled with doves.
I mean, I think Big Ben does have a dove problem, like actively.
I don't think this is Big Ben, though. I don't think they're trying to imply that the prosecutor's office is inside of Big Ben. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here.
I think they seem to imply that.
But some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
That dumb hat.
Oh, I love this place. I always find many interesting books here.
Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. When Suzato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. How did I do his voice?
It's been so long. It's
Yeah.
literally been... And I haven't heard his voice since last year.
I'm trying to remember if it even was in December. It might have been November. I think it hasn't been since November. Oh god. I understand you wish to speak with me. I'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Oh, Lord Strongheart, I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you arrived to request an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies. Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Mel Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. I like to think he's saying this out loud. He's the man who allowed me to stop practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. I mean, it's not even parentheses, so... You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status.
I felt that. I've been in a room and it's felt electric with the aura.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it.
Embrace it.
As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me. Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, as it happens.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
She has stuff to say, because I've gone her right there for him. The giant clock kept a time in usual steady rhythmical motion. It's really quite disturbing how little sound they make considering the massive size.
Someone who's very brilliant must have designed it, and whoever maintains it must be very talented too. But I'm not entirely convinced it's even a clock.
It's a spade.
Oh no.
What? But what about the huge clock face that forms the window over there?
Some people just make machines to move for the fun of it, because they enjoy watching them. Rather like how Hurley makes his rambling deductions just for the fun of it. Even if the outcome isn't quite right.
Never mind all the trouble it gets others into along the way. The Lord Chief Justice's desk. When you look at that, there's no mistaking Lord Strongheart's authority, is there?
But the light in that window behind is far too bright. It would be very bad for the eyes.
I hadn't thought of that. There are no curtains, that's for sure. Iris?
What's more important, having a desk with an air of authority, or having eyes that work?
Can't say I'd ever considered it. After all, my little office barely has any light to speak of, I haven't really seen my desk in a while. You couldn't read all these books even if you were reincarnated 3 times over as a bookworm.
Oh, I know. Such reading material. I'm very envious. I've been running out of things to read recently.
That's because you read so fast.
Perhaps little by little I could swap some of the books with some here with my own.
I don't see why not. No one would
Yeah, I don't
notice.
see why not either.
Or at least I
yeah,
wouldn't.
I literally was gonna say that.
Even if I was reincarnated 3 times over as a librarian.
Would you notice as a librarian?
If it was my job?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just had a great idea.
What is it?
We could hide inside these suits of armor and spy on the fudge.
The Fob Watch Master. Oh.
We could hide inside the suit of armor and spy on the fob.
Blah, blah, blah.
The Fob Watch Master to find out what he's really like.
I don't have much
That's
interest
the-
in what Lord Strongheart is really like, though.
Fob Watch Master. Strong. Do you think that was kind of? I don't know.
Oh, please, it would be fun. You could be inside the left one and I'll go in the right.
You really want to have a go in a suit of armor, don't you?
Now you're making fun of me because I'm a child, aren't you?
I wasn't making fun of you at all. I'd like you to have a go. I'd like to have a go too. Okay. Converse. Permission to work. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work at a court as a lawyer was revoked and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Norohodo. Yes? Ugh, here it comes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. Should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling.
Oh, it's his leitmotif.
If that tragic accident hasn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for me. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean... As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Bruno.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback, a curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope. Of course, please tell me more. You described it as a curious affair. Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yes, I've read about it.
There's just enough lag.
A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How...
Are they okay?
Yeah, I'm plugging in the wire connection, maybe it'll help. Go on, though.
Do you want me to read the line?
Read it. Yeah.
Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with the click of fingers?
That's right. It's just what my Harbor blend needs. A dash of double make care.
Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odiasman, an investor and a well-known figure in society. Do you got it?
An odious man?
An odious man.
Oh. Is that what it... Like, somebody can be odious. Like, they literally use that word in Last Case.
Yeah, odious man.
Odious
it is, yeah.
Like, that's literally the pun?
That's the pun. It's odious man.
He's an odious man. Okay, I thought that wasn't the pun. I'm like, what would it be then?
A large explosion.
A man died.
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow.
I was gonna say, you're not even gonna ask me about that one.
I don't know. Do you have any guesses?
Yeah, no, it's harebrained experiments are like a thing, and Albert is probably based off of Albert Einstein.
You got it correctly. That's the puns. The charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, a scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder. I feel out of the depth before I even started, still. Cool name, I think Harebrain is.
We should get to the prison straight away then and try to meet the German professor, don't you think?
Especially, yeah, Albert Einstein,
Definitely.
German. Yeah.
Yes, one more thing about this case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Lord Van Zeeks, how? All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next morning, the largest and most important of them will all take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly.
Ah!
That's fair, cool name. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly, the future of policing.
No!
I'm glad that they're acknowledging the doves.
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. I believe that Susanoo also got startled by the doves. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly, it's extremely alarming. Yeah.
Gah!
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Please do.
Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now.
Oh, please
What?
do.
Oh, how fascinating!
Good luck, cool name.
Iris and I agree.
It all began 15 years ago. I was...
God. I would be so interested.
Well, you can type it up the actual backstory there then. That more or less sums up my feelings on the matter, in the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's wonderful. Exactly, wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Yeah, we've established that Iris is a speed reader, didn't we?
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything?
I'm not gonna be silly. Like, I think genuinely can read very quick.
I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Okay. Now?
Guess let's go.
I think we have to
Go
present
to
something.
jail. Oh, do we have to present something?
Yeah, we do. It was in his
Oh.
hinted at in the previous thing under the Curious Affair, but
Oh, then yeah, present the Curious Affair. The
What?
newspaper. There's only 2 items!
well, that reminds me. Have you seen this? Reports the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What
The
story?
lost cat? The story about the lost cat.
The Ultimate Gas Company. Huh. The Reaper attacked. That. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Oh, Mr. Reaper, what happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know?
He deflected the bullets with his blade. Pat, pat.
With his hollowed chalices.
With his hollow chalices. I was gonna say, with his blade, it would still been impressive considering I think it's a rapier. It's like blocking blades with a rapier, but hollow chalice is definitely fun.
Each one with another hollow chalice.
Yeah, just kept throwing hollow chalice. Ka, ka, ka. The last one he did with his boot. He slammed it down in midair.
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. Leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations is indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks.
The capital's criminal.
But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Also, cool name. I just noticed back with all the reasons he was citing. He asked if your sexy cane is one of the reasons.
I think so.
Large sums of money.
I think that's a very important reason why he wants SVU.
I like to think he was giving all these really legit in-depth reasons, then just says, my sexy cane, and then he just keeps going with in-depth reasons.
And Lurianowski for that one is like, wait, excuse me. No time.
You're what now? And he repeats the one that he said right after it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. Odie Asman.
Oh.
Did you say Asman?
The explosion at the Great Exhibition.
I guess he wasn't man.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. By the way, you sound more echoey. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I had to move the mic away to wipe my face.
I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Van Zeeks as a prosecutor?
Try me.
All the criminals who managed to get off in court then met with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. In fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zeeks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here. I have Van Zeeks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. But that doesn't make sense. How can you explain the ways so many have died if not by someone's hand? Van Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. It was a long list of reasons he gave.
11 hours?
11 hours late, that's quite something. The meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now?
That was on average about an argument and
I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. Want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrain's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord.
Hasn't even accepted whether he wanted to defend him.
I think he kind of passively did. Okay, now where do we go? Probably last location we're on for the night, so.
The prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor's office?
Yeah.